on today is going to be whether you want to run the Biggun 3 mod in your head or the Killer Instincts mod, and why I use the Killer Instincts mod. Now, if you look at the trade chat lately, all you're gonna see is people just, want to buy Biggun 3, want to buy Biggun 3, want to buy Biggun 3. Obviously, lots and lots of people have jumped on munitions since this DLC came out. And that's simply because they want to hit big guns in the hallway and put damage on the board, which I get. That's kind of what the community DPS is about now, is, being top damage on the board. That's fine. My personal opinion on being a good munition DPS is being a good munition DPS where it counts, and that good DPSing always counts on the boss fights. I mean, clearing out the hallways or clearing the group's ads and shit, it's very important, obviously, but the important burn is always going to be the boss. Trying to get that boss killed as fast as possible so the group doesn't wipe and you get through your raid and you get all your fucking bullshit at the end of it. A good friend of mine, Ice Prototype, was munitions, and we did some testing with it in raids. Probably ran through the raids about 20-30 times fucking around, and he put on the Biggun 3 mod, and I have always run the Killer Instincts mod, and we would do a run through Olympus Elite, him using the big gun, and then we would do a run where we don't use any big guns, and we would see where we kept stacking up with each other on the board. And with the Biggun 3 mod, blasting the squishy ads in the hallways, he put out insane amount of damage, which, anybody running Biggun 3 and getting those big guns off on the squishy ads is going to do. They're going to put out insane damage on the scoreboard, and it's going to look real pretty at the end of the raid. That's fine. But when we did not use the big gun, my extra critical sustained damage would be top of the board, and where I put most of the damage out was on the bosses. And a lot of people say that munitions without big gun is a terrible DPS. I don't know why they say that. It is a fantastic DPS. Not as good as mental. Maybe not as good as sorcery on the bosses. Maybe not as good as celestial or hardlight on the bosses. But right up there. Right, it's hanging. And sometimes beating them, depending who's behind the controller and the power. But yeah. My personal opinion for anybody doing munitions DPSing and wanting to be a good DPS, I would suggest running the Killer Instincts 3 mod, just because you have a better sustained damage that way, and you put out better boss burn. With how easy the content is now, I mean, as long as you got good DPSs in your group, you kind of just fucking steamrolling through shit anyway. But the DPS community has become more of a let me look fancy on the scoreboard rather than let me do what I need to do where it counts kind of deal. You see a lot of DPSs not doing pickups because they don't want to stop DPSing because they might not be the top damage on the board. And you see them, getting this Biggun 3 mod and fucking killing squishy ads that put out ridiculous damage. Like, to me, it's fake damage. You're hitting a supercharge on some squishy ads in the hallway. I hit big on the fucking ads because what else am I going to put there? A group shield? I'll put a group shield there, and if we're doing like survival mode or something. Obviously the big gun is fucking terrible on any non-squishy ads or bosses. It doesn't do shit. Gives you one regular size hit, which you could just hit fucking railguns and get the same shit. But the Killer Instinct gives you that extra 2% criticals, and those criticals matter. Those criticals do matter, and that puts out a better sustained boss burn. So for me, I like to put my DPSing where it's most important, and that's killing the bosses. So that's why I run it. If you want to run the big gun mod, hey, by all means, it's great for clearing the hallways, but those squishy ads in the hallways, they really die fast as shit anyway. So Big Gun 3 is just about the scoreboard chase. It's not about being a better DPS. And DPS competitions nowadays, I don't even do them. I haven't DPS comped since back in the day, seriously, because back in the day, man, if you were DPS comping, you had to be skilled for one, because it wasn't weapon mastery, it wasn't no fucking advanced mechanics, and for two, if the guy you were, DPS comping against went down, everybody in the group would stop. They'd either just wipe on purpose, or the other DPS would stop until he got picked back up, and then they would start doing damage again because they wanted to actually see who was putting out the most burn, not who could get to the ads first, or who could fucking DPS while the other guy's down and put out that damage. Like, it wasn't like that back in the day. DPS comps were a lot fucking better back in the day. DPS comps now are just about who can run ahead of the group and get to the ads first, and that doesn't make you super awesome. Following the tank, not fucking being a douche nozzle, and putting out great burn while doing your pickups and doing shit to help the group out, and still putting out awesome fucking damage per second like you're supposed to do, that's what makes a good DPS. So I'm not shitting on anybody that runs the Big Gun 3 mod, because it clears the hallways fucking fantastic. But I mean, if you got a good fucking group of DPSs in there, those hallways get fucking melted regardless. And it just, running the Killer Instinct mod definitely helps with your sustained damage more. Like I said, man, me and my buddy tested it out, and without the big guns, I was beating him all the time, and with the big guns, he was beating me all the time with numbers on the board. But with the Killer Instincts mod, I was beating ice DPSs, some mental DPSs. I'm hanging with these powers without the big gun. I've done many runs without using the big gun and still been top DPS, just because, munitions does have a great sustained damage. You just gotta have the right setup. So that's just my opinion on it. Figured I'd touch base on my opinion on the mods. You can run whatever you like. And, yeah, I don't know. I'll do another video. I was supposed to post that fucking nature video, but man, I got 3 kids, dude. I got shit to do, so sorry for the wait on that. But I will try to get it up there, and catch you in the next one. Oh, one more thing before I go. Gabe, where's my fucking 20 mil, son?